oh my gosh, it's so amazing, I love it. Some schools are like, it is a dumpster fire. I hate it so much. So if you love social media, you think it is the greatest thing since sliced bread, thumbs up. If you think social media is a dumpster fire, it is just hot trash, thumbs down. If you're neutral, you really don't care, you're kind of like, it's not great, it's not horrible, don't love it, don't hate it, neutral. Okay, we got some neutral? Oh, okay, neutral. Oh, yeah, thumbs up, okay. So, what do you guys use? TikTok? Twitter? Twitter, are you? No.
Twitter's amazing.
I had, the last one was that the kids told me Facebook and they were serious. So, how about Be Real? Do you guys use Be Real here? A little bit of Be Real? Okay, TikTok, Snapchat, all the popular ones. So, what does the government say about this? The government did a huge research study in May of 2023 about teen social media usage. And it came out and said, teen social media usage, it can be awesome, but if you use social media more than 3 hours a day, your chances of anxiety and depression are doubled compared to the average person. And it has a huge impact on your lifelong happiness. So they basically said, if you're a teen and you're using social media 3 or more hours a day, you are likely going to be unhappy for most of your life. Like, it was pretty dramatic what they were saying. This report also says that you guys would have a hard time giving up social media. Like 54% of teens say they would do a lot of things rather than give up social media. There are benefits, like we said, there are some really good things. Like, you can learn a lot. Like, kids always say, I learned so much from TikTok. So many things on TikTok. You can network with your peers, you can meet people from other towns. All of that is really great, but unsurprisingly, we also have tons of research about the bad. Cyberbullying, gossiping, feeling insecure, unsafe with your physical presence are all part of social media. So why do I care? Why am I spending my afternoon chatting with you guys when I could be doing other things? It's because we have all of these ways that you can be impacted both at a school level and criminally based on your social media usage. So we are going to look first at school-based consequences. What can the school do to you based on what you post on your social media? And honestly, the answer is a lot. Even when you post outside the school building, it can have an impact on what the school does to you. Lots of extracurricular activities. You guys said, like, a lot of you play sports. How many of you do some type of extracurricular? Volleyball, basketball, track, wrestling, speech, something. All of that can be taken away as part of discipline in a school. Detention, short and long-term suspension, expulsion, they can even make you go to a different school in Nebraska. So let's look at some real cases. These are real-life high school students doing things on social media. The first case is Mahanoy. Her name is Brandy. She is a cheerleader. She tries out for the Varsity cheer squad, and she makes JV again. A freshman beats her out, and Brandy is so upset about it. She goes to the gas station. It's a Saturday night. She takes her cell phone, takes a Snapchat story, flipping the bird to the camera, and another post about being told she needs another year of JV before she can make varsity. Here's her snap. Sorry, you guys probably can't read it. This one on the left, the girl on the left with her tongue out, that is Brandy. It says F school, F softball, F cheer, F everything. The next post right here says, love how me and blank get told we need a year of JV before we make varsity, but that doesn't matter to anyone else. Here's my pro tip, you guys. If you're going to post something on Snapchat that's going to go all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court, like, have one of your friends prove it. Make your English teacher proud. We don't want to be embarrassed with, like, what's in the court record. So this is what she posted. Of course, her teammates saw it on her Snap story, told their cheer coach. They said, hey, cheer coach, Brandy is unhinged at the gas station and posting this stuff about the cheer program. The cheerleaders were deeply offended. Coach said that Brandy's Snap violated team rules. They made Brandy sign an agreement, as did all of their athletes, that basically said, I'm going to follow school rules, I'm not going to swear, I'm not going to use offensive gestures, I'm not going to talk bad about the cheer program. So her coach kicked her off the team and went to administrators. Administrators in the school said, yep, you don't get to be part of the cheer squad. Brandy's parents sued the school. They said, you don't get to discipline Brandy for making a Brandy posts on social media because she has a First Amendment free speech right to say what she wants to say about the cheer program. Happened on the weekend, wasn't on school ground, wasn't with the school device. Chat with your neighbor and tell me who's going to win this, Brandy or the school, and why. Okay.
I think Brandy wins.
Who wins?
I think it looks like
I think it's Enrique.
Why do you know this school? Vibes, energy? Yeah, okay. All right, you guys. If you think the school won, raise your hand. If you think Brandy won, raise your hand. Okay. Why, if you raise your hand, you think Brandy wins? Anyone who thinks Brandy wins, shout it out why. You don't have to raise your hand. Just give me an answer. Not that bad. Her just like flipping the bird, not that bad. Not a big deal. It could be way worse. If you think the school won, shout out why you think the school might win. Signed an agreement. You signed a contract. Brandy won this case. So if you go to Brandy, Brandy was the winner, not the school. And here's why. The court said, once again, this is the Supreme Court, the highest court in our country made this law. They said schools, you can discipline for conduct for posts on social media and Snapchat on the weekends. However, there has to be a material and substantial disruption, that's the legal phrase, in the school building. So in this case, they went and interviewed all of Brandy's teachers and were like, hey, did you have to redirect your kids to like focus on algebra because they were all talking about Brandy's snap? Teachers were like, no, kids were fine. None of the kids were talking about Brandy's snap. Instead, during Monday in the hall, everyone would be late for class because they were talking about what Brandy posted on Snapchat. That is a material substantial disruption that didn't exist in this case. The court goes on to say, bullying, harassment, and threats are not protected by the First Amendment. Here's our next case. These are football players. The football team and their coaches are all in a Snapchat group. And one of the kids named Aya is part of the group, and he misses practice. So he gets into a fight in this Snap group with one of his teammates saying, hey, why didn't you show up for practice, Aya? Aya responds with all of these threats. I would read them to you guys, but I'll be really honest, it's very embarrassing when I read them. It does not sound intimidating coming from me, but you can pretend. My favorite one, though, is, I sincerely wish death upon your soul. Thank you, Aya, for that poetic language. So he has all those threats and answers that. Then he posts a photo with a gun, which was believed to be a real gun at the time. It was not. So, what does the school do? They kick Aya off the football team and say, you don't get to play football anymore. You're off the team because of this. Aya's family sues the school, saying you can't discipline Aya because he is no different than that cheerleader case. They literally talk about Brandy. They're like, this guy is Brandy. He's off school grounds. He is not doing anything different than the cheerleader. He's just swearing. He's angry. Tell me who's going to win this one. Cheerleader / AF, the student, or school. Yeah. Who's winning? I'd love to know.
You're so dumb.
Going up here to chat with you guys. Okay, who's winning? School or students? Why?
I get he's threatened. School
all the time. Brandy just won the last case.
Yeah, he's threatened with the gun.
What did you say on the
you fake gun though.
It doesn't matter.
He said no one wins.
You know what? That's a really good answer. No one has ever said that answer. I've presented a lot. What do you girls think? School or AF? Because of the gun. I like it. All right. So here's the answers. Who thinks that AF is full of the victory for this one? He is no different than Brandy the cheerleader. Who thinks the school is winning? Okay. The reason I talk about this case, the reason this case is is important is AF was one of the best football players in his state when he did this. He was a senior. He had college scholarships. What do you think happened when he got kicked off that team? Lost them all. They pulled all the scholarships. So, here's what happened. Principal contacted superintendent, police, and his parents. Parents, once again, sued the school, saying you can't regulate his online speech, his Snapchat, because he has First Amendment rights. Of course it's not. This is not the same. This is not Brandy. They say in Brandy's case, the student's statements were no doubt profane and they threatened nobody and did not allude to any actual or proposed danger to anyone and could be reasonably construed as crudely articulated commentary on the state of her cheer and softball programs. Dylan love courts. What great language. Here's what they said about AF. This is different. AF's communications were not merely profane, but they were actual threats. They were directed towards one of his teammates, and obviously we have the gun threat as well in there. School wins. So, school wins this one. Okay. Our next case involves a tweet, and I have presented to probably 50 schools. Nobody has been able to tell me what the tweet means yet. So if you guys can figure it out, I'm all ears. But this involves a student who posted a picture on Twitter of a classmate with an offensive word, and he then was told he cannot walk on graduation. He still gets to graduate, but he doesn't get to partake in graduation ceremony because of his tweet. It offended one of his classmates. Here's the tweet in question. Can you guys read all of the emojis? It has the emoji with smoke blowing out of the nose, emoji with hearts, emoji with like the sleeping peas, and the goat. This is what was posted. Okay, chat with your neighbor. Who's going to win this one, the student or the school? This was posted on Twitter the day before graduation. What do you think? Nobody can tell me. I'm asking you guys what you think. Trust me, I should know a lot. No one can tell me. Okay, who thinks the student is winning this one? Oh, we have okay. Some of you guys are telling me that Andy is winning this case. Who thinks the school is winning this? Okay. Some people are a little on the fence. School wins. Student loses.
Yeah,
Why? Why does the school win this one? First off, it was posted on school property. It happened in the school building. Second, the post impacted one of his classmates. That classmate had concerns and had fears and felt uncomfortable because of the content. So the school was able to decide that this kid could not walk on graduation. 2023 case, this involves a kid named HK who creates a fake Instagram account pretending to be his biology teacher. And I actually can't even show you guys what was posted on this account because it's so bad. Like, I can't even show you. So, all the information that was posted was really bad stuff. HK shared his account with two of his best friends, his login information with two of his best friends, and they're the ones that start posting the content to the Instagram page. So HK was only the creator of the account. He was not posting to it. Word of the account reached the school and was reported to the principal. HK received a 5-day suspension and then a 10-day suspension, and his parents sued, saying he had First Amendment freedom of speech rights to say what he wants to say. Instagram account created on the weekend, not at school, and he did not post. He was only the owner of the account. Chat with your neighbor and tell me, who is winning this one? Student or school? Hey, I've had the chance to chat with some of you guys. Who thinks HK is winning because he just created the account? He didn't actually post to it. Anyone think HK? You're going with HK? I like that bold statement. Okay, you got a friend in the back. Okay. Who thinks the school is winning? All right. School wins. I'm sure you guys are seeing a trend. We have talked about a lot of cases now. How many have the students won? One single case. How many have the school? Like, we've talked like 7, 8 cases so far. So we don't even talk about the kids who are actually posting to this account because they were expelled. So we don't even chat about them. We're just talking about the creator of the account. Why do I talk about this case? Because it stands for the proposition, the rule that you guys have to be careful when you create social media. If you share your login, share your password, and someone else starts posting offensive content, you can be in trouble for whatever they post. Even if you didn't know, even if you didn't have knowledge, this biology teacher, a lot of the posts were about him and his wife, and he actually ended up suing as well, and that case is still ongoing.
The school or the student?
They sued the student and his parents. So you can sue under civil consequences for damages. So the biology teacher sued the kid's parents in this case for money. Okay, next case. Chen case. High school student Ethel created a private Instagram account where he was sharing memes with his friends. They were really offensive. Everything that was posted was offensive, but Ethel created it just for his friends. It was not supposed to go out amongst anyone else. It was just for the 13 people. It was a private Instagram account. If you guys see, this case is not about Ethel, it's about Chen though. So we're not talking about the creator of the account, we're talking about a kid who is part of it. He was a follower of it. He would like various things on the account. He would also comment on them. Really offensive things were on this account. Of course, you guys know what happens. You think the account stayed private? No. It got out. Obviously, everyone in the school found out about it. Someone in the account started sharing screenshots of it. It went viral. And the content really upset some of the classmates of these two kids. Because of this, they were both immediately suspended and expelled. Here, their parents once again sued the school and said, you can't discipline in this situation, freedom of speech, First Amendment. And they said Chen was not even the person posting the content. He was just someone who was liking and commenting. Court said no. Court said school can discipline in this situation, and they referenced the cheerleader case again. They're literally referencing Brandy, and they're saying, when you post something on social media, or you like and comment on something on social media, it can come into your school building in any capacity, so we all have phones throughout the day. Because of that, the school has the ability to make decisions to discipline in those cases that are what the court says ticking time bombs. So Chen, because he liked posts, commented, and took pictures of a student without permission, was able to get expelled. Okay, that was everything that can happen from a school perspective. We're going to switch gears and now talk about criminal consequences. What can happen from a court perspective? First thing, terroristic threats. It's never a joke. In Nebraska, we have a state statute that says it is a felony if you make a threat against a school with the intent to terrorize the building, cause evacuation, or cause fear. So, misdemeanors, lowest level of crime, felonies are the highest level of crime. It is the highest level. Here's some headlines from Nebraska teens. When I present in smaller schools, a lot of you guys are like, Sarah, this would never happen here. Like, we're not going to have a gun threat. That's not going to happen. Well, we have lots of schools in our state that have experienced this. Nebraska teen referred to court for threatening school shooting. Police arrest student after threats made at Sydney High School. Juveniles arrested in connection to a threat in Omaha. Here's some headlines across the country. Florida teen arrested after sharing a threatening graphic of a cat wielding a rifle. It was a meme of a cat with a gun. However, it said, Flanagan's gonna get shot up. So they're essentially making a threat against the school. How about this one? Indiana student arrested after paying someone on social media to call in school bomb threat. Student paid $15 for the person to make the threat. You guys, I am here to tell you, if you are going to make a bomb threat, ask for more than $15. Like, what? This student must have been very desperate for some cash if $15 was all they were going to accept. Okay, TikTok. You guys all said you use TikTok. TikTok challenges, this is one of them. This is a court case involving the penny challenge. You know what this is? This is where you try to drop a penny behind a socket and it sparks. So this kid was doing the penny challenge in school, and he did it twice. The first time he was in English class, he dropped the penny. Sparks flew. Teacher saw. English teacher said, "Hey, knock it off. Don't do that ever again. Stop it." Kid was like, "Okay." Goes to biology class. What do you think he does? Does it again, instantly. Only this time it was better because it charred the entire side of the wall. Like, it was very clear that there was charring all over. His biology teacher instantly was like, "You're out, go to the principal's office." Principal contacted law enforcement. They charged the kid with attempted arson to burn down the school building for his TikTok challenge. Kid, of course, was like, "Judge, I wasn't actually trying to burn down the school. I'm a class clown. I'm trying to be TikTok famous, and this was my way to go about it. I was just joking. I didn't actually mean to try to start the school on fire." Yeah, that was a losing argument. Judge said no. It does not matter what your intent is. The fact that you engaged in activities that could have lit your school on fire is what actually matters. Court said, juvenile specific intent to burn the building can be inferred from the consequences of him doing the challenge twice. The fact that the judge found the juvenile to be acting as a prankster does not eliminate the fact that he could burn down the building. What does this mean for you guys? Don't do stupid TikTok challenges in school. Just don't do it. Most of them are bad ideas. Please do not do them. Okay, switching gears. Switching gears again. We're going to talk about texting now. I get calls about this literally every week from a principal. At least once a week, if not more. Why? Because it is really prevalent in your guys' age group. 1 in 5 are sending, 1 in 3 of you guys are receiving them, and 1 in 7 of you are sending them without consent. Fun fact, almost all of that is illegal in our state. Nebraska has tons of laws that say it is illegal for you to create, distribute, possess any type of images like that. The first one is it's illegal to share news of anyone without their consent, knowingly and intentionally distribute or otherwise make public an image of another. That's law number 1. Here is the interesting part, though. Not just nudes. It includes intimate area, which means underwear. Why do I talk about this? I have 2 really good examples of how high schoolers violate this law, none of which involve nudes. Girls are in a locker room after a volleyball game. You decide you're going to take a selfie. You have clothes on, your friend has clothes on. What's in the background, though, of that snap? Girls who are wearing their sports bras who are changing. That is a violation of this law. That's a misdemeanor. Let's talk about another case. There were boys, after a football practice, who decided they were going to make a slip and slide in their high school locker room. A jumbo slip and slide. They put a whole bunch of soap on the floor. And the kid, of course, the kid who always makes everyone laugh, who's going to run down and slide belly first all the way down. They are ready to go. He is in, by the way, shorts. He has shorts on. This is after football practice once again. He gets ready to go. He's down at the end. He's gearing up. He's sliding all the way down. What do you think is happening as he's sliding down the slip and slide? Everyone is taking video of it, obviously. And in the background of that video, all kinds of boys in compression shorts. So when the school found out about it, they had to report that video of the kid who made it to law enforcement under this statute. Because that is technically creation of child porn in our state. Even though the people in the video had underwear on, it did not matter. Here's an example of a case. This involves two girls, they're best friends. They're at one of each other's houses, and one of the girls has a bra underwear on. She's sitting on a kitchen counter. Her friend takes a picture of her. These girls end up getting into a huge blowout fight. Their friendship ends. Girl who took the picture, in order to get back at her friend, sent it out on Snapchat. Sends it out as a way of revenge. It goes viral. Girl who sent it out ended up getting charged with a misdemeanor for cyber stalking and eventually was found guilty. So, 2 crimes for that one image. It is also illegal for anyone to create or distribute images, including consensual images of yourself. So you cannot in our state make, publish, direct, create any type of image of yourself. It does not matter if it's consensual. Let's do an example. Let's count how many crimes were committed. Okay, here's the example. High school boy dating a high school girl. High school boy willingly decides he's going to take a dick pic and send it to his girlfriend. Takes the dick pic, sends it to his girlfriend. How many crimes were just committed with that one picture? That was consensual.
3.
Got 3 in the background, got 2. Anyone else? Any other guesses? 4, 3. Let's count them. You make, you created. That's 1 crime. That image that you created that was consensual, 1 misdemeanor. Possession. You have it in Snapchat. Does not matter that you think Snapchat's disappeared. You have it on your phone, you send it out, that's 2 crimes. Then you are also distributing it to another, 3 crimes. 3 misdemeanors were just created with 1 image that you created consensually of yourself. Here's an example of it. We have a kid, JCL, high schooler. He was Snapchatting an 8th grader. He started to ask the student to send him nudes 15 to 20 times in one night. He just was hitting her up saying, send nudes, send nudes, send nudes. Next morning, he apologizes to her and says, I'm sorry. He was under the influence and he didn't realize what he was doing because he was high. Well, sorry, JCL, that's not a great excuse. Next night, though, he continues to say, send nudes, send nudes, send nudes. Victim's like, hey man, please stop. I'm not sending you any pictures. And said he would regret it if he didn't. He ends up taking a picture of his privates, snaps it to her with a text that says, regret what over it. Victim again said, please stop. He continued to send 20 more pictures of himself. The guy clearly could not get the message. Clearly. Victim went to her school counselor, reported him, said, look at all these pictures that this guy sent me. He was found guilty and adjudicated of creating pornographic work. Once again, these were pictures of himself. He consensually took these pictures, but look at the second part. He had to register as a sex offender for 10 years for consensually creating images of himself and sending them out. That law that was used in this case is almost identical to our Nebraska law. So even if you consensually create images of yourself, there are situations where this outcome could also exist. It's also illegal to have, to possess. You cannot have any type of inappropriate pictures on your device. It is a misdemeanor in our state if you do so. Okay, remember the right response. Here is what I think you should tell someone if you get a text that says, send nudes. Our law in Nebraska for possession of nudes of a minor and possession of drugs are the exact same language. Literally, if you compare the statutes, they're identical. They just switch out the word drug paraphernalia with inappropriate pictures. Same statute. So if someone's asking you to send nudes, what you should respond with is, I don't do drugs. Period. Just leave it. I don't do drugs. See what they say. You can even say, this crazy school lawyer came and talked to me and said I should say this. I'm cool with that too. But I don't do drugs. It is also illegal to ask someone to send them. It is actually child abuse in our state. So not only do you have to worry about all of the child porn statutes, it is also considered child abuse if you ask for them. Revenge porn. So we have a whole bunch of new cases about revenge porn in our country because people are sharing images after they break up as a way to get back at their ex-partner. Here's an example. Texas woman awarded $250,000 in revenge porn against boyfriend who sent out images. This case is the highest amount of damages we've ever seen for revenge porn. Couple dated. They ended up breaking up. They did share inappropriate pictures, though. They had a horrible breakup. This guy told this girl that he was going to make her life so miserable she wanted to kill herself, shared her nudes, and then pretended to be her on Tinder. She sued, emotional distress, intrusion. What do you guys think this woman was awarded in damages for those inappropriate pictures that were shared? Any guesses? $2 million is too low.
What? 10 million.
$5 million. This is our highest revenge porn case. $5 million this guy had to pay her for releasing and sharing her images. Because this happened in Nebraska. What do you guys think?
No.
No? We don't know. Here's our law. We have a brand new law. This came out in 2020 and says that each image that is shared of someone you break up with or that you were dating and you send out to someone else, $10,000. So if you share images, each of those images, $10,000 if you're sued. And this law has a provision that says that you would have to pay the other person's attorney fees if they're successful. So none of our laws, for the most part, say you get attorney's fees as part of the award for damages, but this one does. So it can be incredibly costly if you get sued under it. Snapchat. We talked about it. Nothing on the internet is temporary. Snapchats do not disappear. They remain forever in your phone as a no media file and can be taken out by forensic experts and viewed with a search warrant. So we have Snapchat law enforcement guides that are very clear that say all Snapchats are saved within your device as a no media file and are never fully deleted. So if you engage in illegal activity, the police can go to a judge and get a search warrant, super easy to get, and work with the Nebraska Highway Patrol, and they can go into your device and pull all of your Snapchat history. Not just like your history, but like the actual images and content. The Snapchats, everything is saved. So when you're using Snapchat, be careful, because everything still exists in some capacity. It's just not visible to you all, but it can be pulled from a forensic expert. Okay, last topic is victimization. When I talk to high schoolers, you guys are always like, duh, Sarah, we're not stupid, we're not getting catfish, why do we have to talk about this? This is totally not applicable. What we're seeing though, especially in central Nebraska, sextortion is on the rise with high school students in particular, in two particular areas. First one, sextortion through Snapchat. You guys go at random people on Snapchat. High schoolers are always like, oh, duh, it's a dating app. That's how I like meet people. I'm just at random people on Snapchat. You start sharing pictures with them. You think they're a high schooler. Come to find out they are a 45-year-old. And they then tell you, I'm going to send out all of your pictures to everyone at your school if you don't send me $5,000. I get a call at least once a month from schools in Nebraska that have kids in high school in their building who have fallen victim to this. This is super common. This is how predators in our state are trying to take advantage of high schoolers and get money. The other is deepfakes. If you guys have not heard, deepfakes are when AI technology is used to take an image of one person, take their face, and superimpose it onto the body of another person, and people are doing that to create pornographic images to sell online. So this is a case out of Long Island where a guy was charged with making deepfakes for 11 of his classmates. So he had 11 girls in his class that had snapped him, totally appropriate snaps. He screenshotted them, took the face of the girls off their images, put it on pornographic images, and sold it on the dark web for tons of money. The girls ended up finding out about it. He was charged with multiple felonies, including promoting sexual performance by a child, aggravated harassment as a hate crime, and stalking for each one of those images. Okay, Raymond Shing case here. This involves Raymond Shing and Alicia Harris. Alicia Harris is a 15-year-old and meets a boy on Instagram. They fall in love. They start sharing images. They want to meet up. They want to meet each other in person. When parents find out though, and they call the cops, there's some concerns about what Alicia is doing, so they call the cops. This is her police arrest. Alicia. Yep, that was Alicia. So you guys are smart. I have seen where your brains are going. You're like following the story, and you're like, yeah, Sarah, I know what's happening. Alicia is getting catfished by some like creepy 6-year-old man. She's gonna show up and it's gonna be some old guy. Nope, this is Alicia. Alicia was catfishing a 15-year-old boy. Alicia is actually Raven Chang, and this is what the investigation uncovered. Chang had allegedly communicated with hundreds of teen boys on fake Instagram accounts that were supposed to be Alicia, the 15-year-old girl. Investigators believe Chang would solicit photos and videos of victims' genitalia for his own sexual gratification. Oh, I just, no. So, why do I talk about this? Why do I talk about this with you guys? Teen boys are being victimized at much higher rates than teen girls. So teen boys are the ones who are actually getting catfished regularly on social media because honestly, it's much easier to get images of teen girls than teen boys. So teen boys, your images are worth more on the dark web than if this was a situation where it's a creepy guy trying to get pictures of a girl. Has this happened here? Has this happened in Nebraska? Yeah, this happened in Grand Island, just down the road. This is recent. This happened in 2021. A kid was posing as a girl on Snapchat to get pictures of his classmates. He then was manipulating them and using AI and selling them on the dark web. He ended up getting sentenced 14 to 16 years in state prison for that crime. So this was like super close to you guys, and it's just happened. We're also seeing imposter scams and spoofs. I don't know if you guys have heard of this, but there's a way now that people can, through AI, call you on your cell phone. It will look like your mom or your friend or your sister is calling you with their image even on the iPhone, like you have an image associated with it. It will look exactly like your friend or mom is calling you. And they're going to say something to the extent like, we've kidnapped your mom, we've kidnapped your friend, you have to give us money for it. They look completely realistic. They can even use like your voice, like they can create your voice or someone else's voice to match people in your life. It is insane how realistic they can make it look. And then they demand money in some capacity. So they say, you have to Venmo me $2,000 immediately if you want to see your loved one again. And it sounds really serious. So if you ever encounter this, these are on the rise in Nebraska. Make sure you report it. Please don't send money to anyone. They call it spoofing. Caller falsifies the information transmitted to your caller ID, and it makes it look like it's the actual person that's calling you. They use a family member caller ID, claim to have that person. They say they need ransom, and they can use it to imitate the voices of family members. AI can totally make it sound realistic, like it is one of your family members that is kidnapped. FBI has noticed an uptick on this, so don't always trust voice authenticity, is what they're saying. There's a situation where AI can make it sound like, look like it is someone in your family, and it's not. Why does all this matter? Why does this matter in your future? Your digital footprint, what you do on social media today, will follow you into the future. We have data to suggest that 71% of people who do hiring, they're going to do a Google search, they're going to look for your social media, they're going to try to find what your presence is online. Girls, if you have like a Visco account, for instance, like now's a really good time to maybe look at your content that you have posted. Additionally, they even said that these people who do hiring will make candidate determinations based on what you post. Same goes for college. There are lots of cases where kids have lost college scholarships based on things they posted on social media when they were in 7th grade, 6th grade. So now is a good time. Go through all of your social media, delete accounts you don't use, clear up things that are problematic so they don't impact you as you try to go to college, because it is highly likely all college admissions officers are going to look at your social media. So I have about do 7 minutes for questions if you guys want. Otherwise, I'll stick around if you have questions you don't want to ask in front of everyone else. But thank you for being good listeners today. Thanks.
You did. Sexual acts.
The question was, am I finding no phone policies being challenged? No, I'm actually seeing lots of schools go to complete no phone policies. So we used to, 10, 15 years ago, it used to be no phone policy, and then we kind of became more lax with it. And now we're going back to no phone policies. But no, I think more schools, we're going to see more and more schools go to no phone policies. That's probably going to be the norm. And I don't think there's a ground for parents to challenge it. And usually, honestly, parents are, right, usually the issue. They're the ones that are upset. I've heard from more parents, well, how am I supposed to text my kid during the day to give them a message? And my response is, when you were in school, how did you get a hold? How did your parents get a hold of you? They called the school office. So, yeah, I think we're going to see more and more schools do no phone policies. Good question. in this area presenting, and I can probably make it work. And he was flexible.